Capricorn, attention. What's going to happen to you this week happens to no one else. Capricorn, have you felt the pressure building? Not the usual weight of your responsibilities, but something stranger, deeper. A crack in the veil. A cosmic whisper that your name has been called. Not by chance, but by celestial design. This week, April 21st to 27, 2025, something is aligning in the heavens that will not happen for anyone else, not in this exact way. There is a divine appointment encoded just for you. And whether you're ready or not, the universe is opening a path that demands you listen, not with your ears, but with your soul. An ancient astrological pattern is forming, one that hasn't stirred for decades. You've been tested, isolated, doubted, but those were the birth pains. Now, a powerful portal is preparing to open. And when it does, you'll be faced with a truth so intimate, it could only be meant for you. A truth about who you've always been beneath the roles, beneath the masks, beneath the silence. I am Elizabeth, astrologer, psychologist, and soul guide. For over 20 years, I've helped thousands navigate moments like this. Moments when the cosmos doesn't just predict your future, but calls you into it. If you're new here, welcome to a sacred space. Like, subscribe, and share what you're feeling in the comments below. This week, your soul is being summoned. And if you've come across this message, it's not a coincidence. It's a cosmic appointment. Chapter 1. The Celestial Threshold, a portal only you can see. Capricorn, this week you stand at the edge of something ancient and invisible, what the mystics once called the threshold of becoming. It does not announce itself with trumpets or grand signs. Instead, it arrives quietly, like a soft pressure in the chest. A moment of stillness where the world feels suspended, and your inner knowing begins to stir. This isn't about fate delivering you something on a silver platter. No, this is about the energy you've carried for lifetimes being acknowledged by the stars. Saturn, your ruler, is whispering in harmony with Pluto and Venus this week, forming a rare triangle in the heavens. This is not a coincidence. It is a sacred design, a spiritual alignment preparing you to receive a truth you've long buried. Perhaps you've noticed the signs already. People returning from the past without explanation. Dreams that seem to carry messages but dissolve upon waking. A heaviness in the body, followed by a sudden burst of clarity. You may even feel a strange detachment from your usual goals, because the universe is asking you to look beyond them. To see what remains when you strip away duty, status, and expectation. This threshold is not a place. It is a moment, a breath where everything changes, even if nothing outside of you does. And the test? Will you step forward into the unknown, or retreat into the familiar? Psychologically, what's happening is deep. You are undergoing what Carl Jung once called individuation, the process of becoming fully yourself. Beyond the masks you've worn to survive. You're not just being asked to make a decision, you're being asked to let go of an identity that no longer serves your soul. Some of you may feel a calling to change careers. Others might feel compelled to confront a buried truth in a relationship. Or to finally speak a truth you've been silencing for years. Whatever form it takes. It will feel both terrifying and liberating, like standing in the eye of a spiritual storm. But Capricorn, storms are not here to destroy you. They are here to strip away the unnecessary, so the core of you can emerge, pure, clear, unstoppable. This week, the portal is open. You will not see it with your eyes, but you will feel it in your spine, in the weight of your choices. Pay attention to the moments that feel too quiet, too meaningful. That's where the doorway appears. And remember this, only you can walk through it. No one else can cross this threshold for you. This is a solo passage into power, into alignment, into the you that has always been waiting on the other side of fear. So I ask you now, Capricorn, what will you leave behind to step into who you're becoming? Chapter 2. Whispers from the shadow. What you've been avoiding is now calling your name. Capricorn, now that the portal has been sensed, perhaps even cracked open within your soul, you must face what lies beyond the doorway. And what lies there is not a treasure waiting to be handed to you, but a shadow. A truth, a reflection of what you've spent years, perhaps lifetimes, trying to suppress. This week, the universe will not allow avoidance. Not anymore. Pluto, the planet of transformation and hidden power, is whispering into the corners of your psyche. Its influence brings buried emotions to the surface: guilt, shame, longing, grief, but not to torment you, no. Pluto does not punish, it reveals. It shows you the masks you've worn and the truths you've buried, so that you can rise not in illusion, but in authenticity. And here is the cosmic secret: your power has never been in your perfection. It has always lived in your pain. This chapter of your journey asks you to sit with the uncomfortable. You may find yourself recalling conversations from years ago, words that still sting, silences that still echo. You may encounter someone who once betrayed you, or be faced with the truth that you, too, have hurt others while trying to protect yourself. Let it come, let it surface. From a psychological view, this is your shadow integration. It is the moment the unconscious becomes conscious, not to overwhelm you, but to release you, because what you do not own will own you. And you, dear Capricorn, were not born to be owned. You were born to master your own destiny. This week, your emotions may feel unpredictable. You may cry without knowing why. You may feel angry at things you thought you had let go. You may be tempted to numb yourself, to return to busyness, logic, or silence. But I urge you, stay. Stay present with the discomfort. Listen to what your body is saying. Trust that your soul knows what it's doing. You are not breaking down. You are breaking open. Imagine the image of a sealed cave. For years, you've feared what lies inside: too dark, too heavy, too unknown. But this week, a light has found its way into the cave. And within it, treasures, gifts, powers you didn't even know you had. They've just been buried beneath the pain, beneath the pretending, beneath the old survival stories. Capricorn, if you dare to face the shadow now, the rest of this cosmic alignment will reward you. But the healing will not be intellectual, it will be visceral, embodied, emotional. This is soul work, and it begins not when you think your way forward, but when you feel your way through. So I ask you now, are you willing to hear what your soul has been trying to say beneath all the noise? Because the universe isn't giving you this moment to test you, it's giving it to free you. Chapter 3. The Return of Inner Authority, Reclaiming the Power You Gave Away. Capricorn, you have always been the architect of your destiny. But somewhere along the way, perhaps out of love, survival, or fear, you began handing over your blueprints. You gave pieces of your power to the opinions of others, to the weight of tradition, to systems that promised you safety but demanded your silence. This week, the stars are drawing you back to your throne. Saturn, your ancient ruler, is positioned in a rare dialogue with the energies of Venus and Pluto. This isn't a gentle nudge, it's a cosmic summons. The universe is asking, where have you abandoned your authority in exchange for approval? And more importantly, are you ready to reclaim it? Reclaiming power doesn't always look like defiance. Sometimes it looks like a quiet no. Sometimes it looks like choosing rest over proving yourself. Sometimes it's deleting the message you were never meant to send, or walking away from a role you've outgrown. Power isn't loud. True power, Capricorn, is sovereign. It doesn't seek validation, because it flows from alignment. This week, you'll be offered moments, small at first, that test your allegiance to your truth. A conversation where you're asked to agree, even though your gut disagrees. An opportunity that looks shiny, but feels hollow. An encounter that reminds you of a younger version of yourself, one who accepted too little because they didn't know they deserved more. Each of these is a mirror, and each mirror asks you the same thing: who decides your worth now? Psychologically, this is the week you update your inner narrative. The story that says, I have to work twice as hard to be seen. The belief that whispers, if I rest, I'll fall behind. The conditioning that clings to old identities like armor, protective, yes, but also heavy, suffocating, obsolete. You are not that story anymore. This energy is asking you to become the author, not the character, of your life. And that means making choices that might seem irrational to others, but feel like oxygen to your soul. Choosing what nourishes you over what merely impresses. Trusting that you are already enough, not someday. Not after the next achievement, but now. Spiritually, this is your initiation, not into something new, but into something ancient, your original frequency. Before the world told you who to be, This is the homecoming of the self. And when you stand in that power again, life stops being something that happens to you. It becomes something that flows through you. Capricorn, if there was ever a time to rise, not in rebellion, but in remembrance, it is now. So I ask you, who are you when no one else is watching? And are you finally ready to live as that person, unapologetically, joyfully, powerfully? Because the door is open, and your throne is waiting. Chapter 4. The Sacred Disruption, when the universe intervenes to reroute your fate. Capricorn, what if I told you that everything falling apart this week is actually falling into place? There is a sacred kind of chaos that visits those who have outgrown their old life but are too loyal, too disciplined, or too afraid to let go. You, Capricorn, are often praised for your endurance, but endurance can become a prison when it is used to maintain something that your soul has already outgrown. This week, that which no longer serves you may begin to crumble, not as punishment, but as intervention. Around midweek, the cosmic pressure will intensify. You may receive surprising news, a cancellation, a change of plans, an emotional eruption you didn't anticipate. Something may be delayed, denied, or removed. On the surface, it may feel like loss, but underneath, it is the universe gently, or not so gently, rerouting you toward your true alignment. This is not failure. This is redirection. Astrologically, the influence of Uranus, the great disruptor, will stir beneath the surface, especially in the areas of your chart connected to career, status, and legacy. It may feel like instability, but it is sacred instability, the kind that breaks open stale patterns and invites in divine spontaneity. Capricorn, you were not born to stay small in a life that no longer fits. You were born to evolve, and evolution is never tidy. It's messy, it's raw, it's revealing, and it's always necessary. From a psychological lens, this is what we call ego death. Not the destruction of your identity, but the transformation of it. You are shedding an outdated version of yourself, perhaps the perfect one, the provider, the reliable one, and as those masks fall away, the real you is revealed, powerful, multidimensional, intuitive, sovereign. But disruption is not just something you endure. It's something you respond to. This week, you're being asked to participate in your own liberation. That means not resisting the changes, but asking, what is this trying to free me from? Instead of scrambling to fix the outer situation, tune inward, let go of control, let the old break if it must. What is meant for you will not leave, and what leaves was never truly yours. Spiritually, this is your phoenix moment, the burning away of illusion, so that what is real can rise. And it will rise, Capricorn, not from ambition, but from alignment. So I leave you with this, when the ground trembles beneath your feet this week. Will you panic? Or will you recognize the sacred hand that is shifting your path, not to punish, but to prepare? Because sometimes the universe doesn't wait for your permission. Sometimes it breaks what you're clinging to, so you can finally receive what's meant for you. Chapter 5. The rebirth begins. A new timeline is forming under your feet. Capricorn, by the time this week ends, you won't be the same, and you're not meant to be. After the threshold, the shadow, the reclamation, and the sacred disruption, comes the stillness. A silence that doesn't feel empty, but holy. As if the universe itself is pausing to honor the transformation that has just taken place within you. That pause is not just symbolic. It is the beginning of your rebirth. You may notice it in the quiet moments, when your breath deepens for the first time in days. When your body feels lighter though nothing external has changed. When a new thought enters your mind and it feels like clarity, not fear, is speaking. That is the moment your new timeline locks in. And it is unlike anything you've walked before. Astrologically, this rebirth is supported by the moon's subtle shift into a nurturing but discerning aspect, calling your emotional body to align with your evolved intentions. Mercury, meanwhile, offers you insight, perhaps even a message or synchronicity that affirms, you made it through. You are no longer operating from survival. Capricorn, you are operating from sovereignty. In this new cycle, you may find your goals changing, not because you failed, but because you've finally outgrown goals that were rooted in old wounds. You no longer chase things to feel worthy. You pursue what feels true, what feels aligned, what feels alive. Psychologically, this is called integration. It's the process where healing becomes embodied, not just understood, but lived. You don't need to remind yourself to stay in your power. You are your power. You don't need external approval to feel enough. You've seen yourself in the shadow and the light. And still, you have chosen to love, to lead, to rise. Spiritually, this is your elevation. You are now on a different vibrational frequency. People may sense it, some may be drawn closer, others may fall away. Let both happen. You are not here to be understood by everyone. You are here to align with your destiny. And now, the doors begin to open. You may receive a message this week that confirms your new path, a dream offer, a spiritual download, a sudden yes that rewrites everything. Follow it. Don't overthink it. Your intuition is not a whisper anymore. It's a thunderous knowing. Capricorn, your rebirth isn't coming. It has already begun. So I ask you now, in this final chapter of the shift, will you keep dancing with your past? Or will you step fully into the life that has been waiting for the healed version of you to arrive? The timeline has changed. The frequency is rising. And you are already walking ahead of where you used to be. You are no longer who you were. Capricorn, if your soul feels tender right now, if your mind is quiet but your heart beats louder than ever, it's because something ancient within you has just shifted. You've walked through the fire this week. Not metaphorically, energetically, spiritually, emotionally. And no, you are not who you were 7 days ago. You've crossed the invisible threshold between survival and truth, between duty and desire, between what was expected of you and what you are destined to become. This week has not been random. It has been sacred. The pain you felt? It wasn't weakness, it was your soul stretching. The confusion? It wasn't chaos, it was the rearranging of your internal compass, pointing you back home. The disruptions? They weren't setbacks, they were realignments. The shadow work, the memories, the raw honesty, they were the soil in which your true power has rooted itself. You have awakened. And now, dear Capricorn, it is time to walk with clarity. Take the insight you've received and turn it into action. Speak what you once silenced. Make the decision you've been postponing. Reclaim the vision that fear told you to bury. You no longer need to carry what isn't yours. You no longer need to prove what you already are. The universe has seen you. And now, the world will, too. So if this journey stirred something inside you, if you felt the truth in your bones, I invite you to like this video. Leave your story in the comments, and subscribe for more cosmic revelations. Your voice matters here, your healing is honored here, and your transformation is just beginning. Before we part, I leave you with this question. What does your highest self know that you have not yet dared to live? And a final whisper from the cosmos. When the soul awakens, the stars rearrange.